Hi, and welcome back to our latest episode of Gina's Gems, where you get to meet the team behind the scenes. Back with us today is Krystie Dascoli, our voluntary benefits practice leader, who's here to provide some additional gems on claims integration, along with voluntary benefits and how they're driving more value for both employers and employees. Krystie, thank you for coming back.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me again. I know there's a lot to cover on this topic, so I'm glad we have a little more time to share some additional ideas that employers are really thinking about.
Yeah, absolutely. So claims integration has been around for some time now for disability. It's great to see that voluntary benefits are evolving in the same way. I'd love to hear your perspective on what's driving this change.
Yeah, Gina, there's really two key factors that are really driving this change. The first is that many of the major medical carriers have entered into the voluntary benefit space. They really have this unique ability to share data between the medical plan and the voluntary benefits division, and they do this without breaking any HIPAA violations. This has resulted in the ability for these carriers to allow for auto adjudication, which utilizes the medical claim codes to automatically pay the accident, critical illness, or hospital indemnity claims. And then second is that technology has really evolved with many of the leave management systems. This allows for the sharing of disability claim codes to activate the claim event as well.
Yeah, and that makes total sense to me. So I can certainly see how medical carriers entering the market can change the VB space as it streamlines the whole process for the employees, right?
Absolutely. And when more claims are filed, a few important things really happen. Not only does the employee value their benefits more, but it also drives up those loss ratios, which have historically run well below target in this market. Employers also like this because it is less work for the employee to file the claim, and it helps drive the connection between their core benefits and their voluntary benefits.
Yeah, it's great to see more value for the money that the employee is paying. And I'm assuming not all carriers are created equal in this space, right? So, what are some key questions a large employer should be asking as they look for a voluntary benefits carrier to partner with?
You're 100% correct, in that the market varies in the kind of claims integration services that are available. We have seen four different methods that employers should consider. The first is auto adjudication, which I mentioned earlier. This is when there is either a direct connection between the medical or the disability carrier that allows them to take that information and auto pay the accident, critical illness, or hospital claim. The second method is a proactive outreach to the employee. This is when there may be data share of diagnostic codes, but they don't have the authorization from the employee to actually file the claim. Instead, they reach out to the employee via email or phone and notify the employee that they may have a potential supplemental health claim. The employee is then asked to complete the claim online or via paper filing. The third way is similar to number two, but instead of the employee filing the claim form, the vendor just substantiates the claim and then files on behalf of the employee. This option still requires a discussion with the employee before the claim is filed, though. And then the fourth method utilizes claims data to reduce the medical documentation needed to substantiate the claim. This simplifies the employee's claim experience, but does not go as far as actually submitting claims on the employee's behalf.
It seems like if an employer is looking to select a carrier, that they understand the full process and which method the carrier uses to file claims. Is there a cost for these services?
Excellent question, because sometimes there is. Some carriers will either load their rates to cover the expenses of the auto filing or to cover the increased utilization. Really important to understand that. For example, we know that typically 1% to 3% of employees will file a wellness claim, but with auto adjudication, that would increase substantially. In this case, we have seen carriers load their rates to account for that increased utilization. On the other hand, there are some carriers who have this process fully integrated and built in-house, and there's no extra fees for this service or the expected utilization.
So it sounds like the market is moving in a really positive direction overall. Are there any other issues that you've seen with this process?
Yes, the only other issue we've run into is that while claims are auto-filed or there is this proactive outreach to the employee, it doesn't catch all claims opportunities. For example, if I'm working in the backyard and I hurt my back, I might not go to the ER or the doctor, but I might see a chiropractor and not use my medical plan. Chiropractor benefits are included under some accident policies, but because I didn't utilize my medical plan, the claim integration system would not be able to capture that specific service that I received. Another example is that if claims integration is with the disability carrier, only disability claims with that specific carrier would be captured. So in this specific scenario, an accident, critical illness, or hospitalization that doesn't result in a disability claim would be missed.
So these are all really great points, and the information you've shared today sheds a really great light on some changes that are happening in the VB market that are very positive. We talk about disruption, and it's a negative sounding word, but it's actually really beneficial to the employee, which is great. So thank you again for being here today. To those of you who joined us, come back in 2 weeks. We look forward to talking about alternative funding methods and how it's driving more transparency and lower premiums in the voluntary benefits market. Thank you so much, Krystie. Great to see you.
Great to see you too. Bye, Gina.
Bye-bye.